shot for that.
Welcome back to Supersport Park for Game 2 of the Momentum Health Challenge. It's the Eastern Storm up against the Mpumalanga Rhinos. The Eastern Storm have won the toss and elected to bat. I'm Ken Borland. Alongside me is the world player and coach, Pierre de Bruin. Pierre, this morning we saw the Inyati win the toss and bowl, but that was at 9 a.m. this morning. Things have changed a bit.
Yeah, it's changed. Good afternoon, Ken. It's changed definitely. If you look at the toss decision as well, Eastern Storm deciding to get a good score on the scoreboard and put Mpumalanga on under pressure, I suppose. But I'm looking forward to a really good game. This morning was a good game, and I'm sure this afternoon we'll see the same.
Yeah, so this pitch is now 37 overs of bowling, of use on it. So we'll be, by the time the Rhinos bat, it'll be 58 overs. And a leg side wide to start. John Henriksen, the bowler there. And do you expect the pitch to have changed much by the time the Rhinos bat?
I don't think there'll be a very big change in the surface. We did see one or two balls just gripping a touch with from a spinning perspective. We could see a little bit more of that if the spinners decide to get some revs on the ball. But from a seamer's point of view, I think it's just going to flatten out. It's just going to get the wicket's just going to get better. What we did see this morning was that the change of pace from the seamers made it a little bit more difficult for the batters. And obviously using this new ball effectively, trying to get some movement through the air. But sooner than later, you'll probably see that change of pace is going to be used.
Bit of shape there for Henriksen into the left-handed Braden Hicks, is it Hicks? No, I think it's Tavelo Sekikune opening the batting. At the other end there, just practicing his straight drives, Christopher Brits, who had a wonderful T20 competition for Easterns last season, made a few centuries. And the Eastern Storm underway with a single down to third man. Easterns topped the log in last season's T20 Challenge. They won 5 of their 6 matches, hosted the final against the Tuskers from KZN Inland, but ended up losing. But Eastern's certainly a powerful unit in T20 cricket.
Yeah, this morning we also saw that both power plays, over 100 runs were scored in those 2 power plays.
it's just the bottom hand coming through a bit there, but he'll get off the mark. Yeah, and that was despite the Inyati being 13 for 3. They still managed to get to 52 in their 6 overs.
That was those 2 overs that went for 35 runs, and this is what this place can do. Supersport Park. It's a good wicket, fast outfield, long boundary, short boundary. Shape through the air. Didn't capitalize on that full delivery. Would have liked to maybe look a bit straighter there and not carve the ball to point.
All 4 new balls, well 3 now, all 3 new balls have swung for the first couple of overs up front, but it's kind of disappeared quite quickly, hasn't it?
Yeah, it has.
Oh, it's worth a shout probably, but fancy swinging down leg. Henriksen didn't get any support from his wicketkeeper. So, end of a tidy first over. Three without loss. The Eastern Storm.
There's a packed offside field for the left-hander. Third man, deep square on the boundary. There's no slip in place.
Oh, with the ball swinging a bit, I would quite like to see it slip. Oh, well, is that an inside edge? Yes, he's been given. Sekekune goes. He went waltzing down the pitch there a bit, and a bit of a loose waft at the ball. Inside edge, good catch. Nicely taken by wicketkeeper Zakia Katrada.
Sekekune didn't look comfortable from the start, and he faced a couple of deliveries. That one shuffled down the wicket, tried to flick it through mid-wicket. Got an inside edge. And that's the first wicket.
Rahman Khan, it looks like, is coming to the wicket. More of a bowler for Easterns. But Gareth Duke striking straight away his first delivery. And he was Mpumalanga's leading bowler in last season's T20 Challenge. Mpumalanga only won 2 of their 6 games. But I think across last season they'll be heartened by a better display across the formats by them compared to previous seasons.
Now we see a slip in place.
Pulled away nicely through mid-wicket. That's a good shot. Duke's just dropping fractionally short, and Khan onto it very quickly.
Yeah, he was quick onto that length. Wasn't that short, just back of a length, but quickly. Good timing, good placement in front of square. Khan is underway with a boundary. Change in field. Fielder from the offside in the ring to mid-wicket.
Khan showing good intent. He's come out here and played positive shots. Even that was a dot ball, but it was a nice firm drive down the ground, and Dukes had to be quick to get a hand onto it. Mid off and mid on, both up in the ring. So they probably saved 4 there, the Dukes. Pulled again, and very well placed between mid-wicket and mid-on. 4 more for Khan.
Yeah, it's clear that that back of a length area is not the area to him. Very quick onto that pull shot again, this time through mid-wicket. It shows you that he's got a lot of time.
One wide of mid-off. So, end of the second over, and the Eastern Storm are 12 for 1. We saw the Northern Cape Heat post 145. Batting first 145 for 8. In the previous match, we felt that was under par. What do you think par is for this afternoon, Pierre?
Yeah, just looking at the surface, it all depends on what your approach is in the power play. But overall, I would think that a par score in the second game here, the sun is baking as well, so the pitch could change a little bit quicker than we think. Anything around that 180 mark will be very tough to chase.
Nice straight drive, hit the stumps though.
Best fielder.
Yeah, that denied Khan would have been another 4. Yeah, twice now. He's had really good straight drives, got no reward. Dukes saved one, the bowler, and now the stumps at the bowler's end. Just a hint leg side from Hendrickson, and I think Khan will be upset that he didn't put that one away.
Hendrickson, he got away with one there. That was leg stump in the slot, short boundary.
Apologies to the family of Braden Hicks and Aman Khan, because we see now it's actually Braden Hicks who has come out to bat. The scoreboard. Oh, short ball from Hendrickson, real effort bouncer. Braden Hicks is wearing Aman Khan's shirt, hence the confusion. Was a Tucks player, I believe, Braden Hicks. Had a game or 2 for the Titans. Now moved southeast to join the Eastern Storm, based in Benoni. Again, he misses out there.
Yeah, it's 3 in a row. Previous delivery was short. Any bat on that, and it can fly for 6 to that short boundary. This delivery, again, full and straight, missed out.
one's a bit straighter. And eventually given out. It was certainly straighter. There was still that bit of shape into the right hander. Hicks no doubt feels it was missing leg stump, but let's see what the replay suggests. Yeah, I think that's at least clipping leg.
At least, yeah. He just looked at his bat there. Was there possibly an inside edge? Well, he's had a few goes at that line. This time he missed out. Looking too square.
Braden Hicks, LBW then bowled John Hendrickson for 9. Hit a couple of 4s, but not much else in the 10 balls. He was at the crease. And the Eastern Storm in early trouble on 13 for 2.
It's a good start by the Rhinos. Within the power play, this is the third over. They've already gotten 2 wickets. Pressure straight away on Eastern Storm.
Struck drive. It seems we do now have Aman Khan at the crease, and that ends the third over. Eastern Storm 13 for 2.
Hendrickson bowled 2 overs already, 1 for 3. Excellent figures within the power play, especially.
Gareth Dukes will continue from the Hen Observer end. Nicely punched through the covers by Christopher Britz, and he has his first boundary.
Yeah, great shot. Normally you'll see that length and that line go much squarer of the wicket. This time he just stands still on top of the ball, punches it straight through extra cover for 4.
Man with a lot of confidence in his T20 form, having played so well last season.
You look at that boundary shot, still the indication of a very, very good batting wicket.
Yeah, the ball has come on very nicely if you consider that it's the 1st of September. Often this time of year pitches can be a bit sluggish and slow. But groundsman Brian Roy looks to have done an excellent job. There's good pace in this pitch. Seen some bounce, even a couple of deliveries turned in the first game. Dukes fighting back well after conceding the early boundary. Oh, that's a very wayward delivery by Dukes.
Yeah, his wrist that just collapsed there in his gather on the release.
beaten the diving backward point, and that'll run away for 4. So 2 boundaries in the over for Chris Brits. Takes him to 9.
Wasn't that wide. You've got to give credit to the batter. Just use the pace. Open the face of the bat.
Lofted straight to extra cover. And Chris Brits, after a good over, has rather thrown it away. Just lofting that straight to cover. He's gone for 9.
Yeah, that's not a good shot. Straight to the fielder. Straight after the boundary. Just reach out in front of him. Easy catch. 3 down.
Just 22 on the board for the Eastern Storm, and having won the toss and elected to bat, they are certainly not taking advantage of what should be really pleasant batting conditions. So, second wicket for Dukes. Henriksen has got 1. Brits 9 off 7 balls, 2 4s in there.
Eastern Storm, they're in need of a partnership now. Just to rebuild things.
See our first bowling change for the Rhinos, bowling the 5th over. Herman Rolfs, who was their leading bowler in last season's T20 competition, captain of the Mpumalanga Rhinos as well. Some good bounce there.
Good start. Always quite satisfying for a bowler if you see a bit of bounce.
One thing you pretty much guaranteed here at Supersport Park. Khan just hopping a bit leg side, shot the stumps, directed, he would have been out. He's going to get an extra run though. Definitely worth the shy though, he was struggling.
You can't blame the fielder there. He had to shy. Could have been 4 down. Should have been.
Well, I think it's pretty clear that Aman Khan wants to target that short boundary on the offside. Just about every delivery this over, he's stepped outside leg and had a bit of a waft offside. This time he does get it through, but good diving, bit of fielding. Musa Twala usually keeps wicket, Musa Twala, but very quick over the outfield there. Good fielding by him. We've got Zakir Katrada is behind the stumps for the Rhinos today. And Rolf switches to around the wicket to the left-hander. Who, yeah, still backing away. Rolf's followed him nicely there.
I think Khan is only thinking of one option. Look at that previous delivery with that angle into him. He's still looking to go offside, whereas there's no mid-wicket. Just a bit of bat onto that line into the mid-wicket area will give you 1 or 2 runs.
He's hit that nicely between extra cover and mid-off and gets the boundary.
Now he succeeds this time. He's not going to give up on that option of his. Give himself room. The length helped. Looked much straighter this time. It's a good shot.
So 30 for 3 after 5 overs. Eastern Storm looking to make a bit more hay in the final over of the power play. And new batsman Jason van Dyk on strike. Duke's continuing for a 3rd over.
You don't usually see that. 3 overs for your opening bowler in the power play. Captain possibly thinking that there's an opportunity here to see if we can get another wicket in this power play with our strike bowler.
Oh. Well, if that ball had been picked up cleanly, it might have been an interesting run, but the batsmen get home comfortably. Very wayward one from Gareth Dukes. Every now and then the ball just comes out really horribly for him.
Yeah, you can see that. It's either just a bit of a technical wrist position error or that leg side that's in the back of his mind.
Nicely struck by Khan. He'll get one. Not a bad delivery. It was right up there in the block hole, but Khan does well to get a single out of it. Big tall man. Has quite a long way to get down. The Yorker could be a good delivery to him. Probably what Dukes was thinking.
Now 2 deliveries left in this power play. Eastern Storm would like to see at least 1 boundary out of those 2 deliveries, because it's a power play that belongs to the Rhinos. Picked up wickets, and they've restricted the Eastern Storm.
That's probably just going to be 1 deep square leg coming in, yeah. Gives itself room, launched over the covers, fielder after it. Kind of lost it in the air there. Did Herman Rolfs. But just a single. Or, no, they got 2. So 36 for 3 at the end of the power play. I have to say, Pierre, I'm not always a big fan of bowlers being sent up the order. In an effort just to head out, and it normally doesn't come off, and Aman Khan is definitely very much a bowler, In 5 T20 innings in his career, he's only scored 12 runs at a strike rate of 92. So,
that's interesting.
Yeah, so I'm not really sure whether it was a great call to send him up in the power play.
No, I agree with you. Your top 4, top 5 batters in T20 cricket, or in any form of cricket, is a specialist position. You need your best batters there.
Herman Rolfs will continue to Van Dijk. 1 to third man. Perhaps the Rhinos, perhaps the Easterns felt getting a left-hand, right-hand combination out there was of value, though. Good short ball.
Good option. Very good option. Interested to see what Khan's approach is going to be now outside the power play. He showed his intentions in the power play. He wants to create room for himself on the offside. Favours the offside. There is protection now. Third man. Deep cover sweeper, long off. Long on is in the ring.
Nimble fielding by Musa Twala keeps it to just what I do like with the guy who's stepping outside leg stump and trying to give himself room through the offside. The bouncer on about leg stump, and especially since he's not a recognised batsman, I'd like to see how he handles that. Slashed away by Van Dijk. And just for one, they're going to come back for 2 on the misfield. Aman Khan, good and alert there. As soon as the ball was fumbled, he was off. Probably a little bit too full for the shot from Van Dijk.
Eastern's currently going at around about a run a ball. They're going to have to see where they can find options or matchups to increase that run rate.
Up and over, cut over backward point by Van Dijk, and a good end to the over for the Eastern Storm. 7 gone, 44 for 3.
And they needed that. They needed that just to get going here, especially Van Dijk. You can see that he prefers to play behind square. He used the pace nicely there of the bowler.
Looks like we're going to have our first bit of spin from the Mpumalanga Rhinos, and it's Tatelo Mapaka, the brother of Kwena, currently with the Proteas in England. Ooh, starts with a wide down the leg side. Taylor is the older brother, unsurprisingly. Taylor and Parker will turn 25 on the 21st of September. So still a young man in cricketing terms. Got a bit of drift into the right-hander. They come back for the second. Good running.
Yeah, good running. Caught the fielder there on the boundary, napping a bit. Got to be 5 or 10 in.
And it requires a bit of anticipation, doesn't it, of the batsman's shot. That if it's not a boundary shot, you need to be sprinting in very quickly to stop the one being turned into a 2. Down the wicket. But Mapaka reacted well, keeps it to just a single.
That's a good option. It's a good option, especially the left-hand batter. The moment you identify that line and also the length, you've got to back yourself.
Cries of catch it and taken at cow corner. Good running catch. And things just go from bad to worse for the Eastern Storm.
Yeah, that's not a good shot. That's a very, very soft way to get yourself out.
Full toss, bottom hand came off the bat.
Long boundary, straight to the fielder. It's just soft in this situation. You'll be very disappointed with that. "50 for 4 after 8. Got to give credit to Mpumalanga Rhinos as well. They've been good from the start.
And the new man in is Devan Murray. And excited to see how he goes. He was in the SA Under-19 team a couple of years ago. Had an excellent T20 competition last season. Very much the finisher for the Eastern Storm. Averaged 78 at a strike rate of 150. So certainly a very accomplished finisher, but he's coming in the 9th over of this innings. Let's see what he can do over a longer period of time.
Impressive stats, those. Very impressive. Also gives some of the French players in these type of games or tournaments pre-season to put their hands up, bearing in mind Grant Thompson, Ernest Kim and Yuri Snyman not available for this tournament.
Yeah, Grant Thompson, the veteran all-rounder, has a few health issues at the moment. Ernest Kim has a thumb injury. He's a new signing for Easterns.
He's been at Northern Cape for many years.
Yeah, very handy cricketer, Ernest Kim. Surprised he hasn't really broken through at Division 1 level. Oh, way too short. It's a dreadful start with the ball for Maupa and Aman Khan. Says thank you very much.
good delivery. That's to the strength of Khan. Good timing, flat. Utilizes the short boundary. Got away with one there.
Yeah. And the action is all very much arms and shoulders because the run-up kind of comes to a halt before he's delivered the ball. Slashed away just over backward point. Leaping effort by Musa Twala.
Yeah, it's obvious that Khan only prefers the offside, and he's quite strong when he's offered any form of width. There, he's also creating his own. That's almost off stump. The signs are there, and the bowler, captain, you've got to get your tactics spot on against players like this. There he goes straighter now. He's teasing the captain in terms of angles. Goes square, then he goes straight.
But pretty much always there's a step or two outside leg stump before he goes. And I fancy you've got to get it full and wide outside off stump, well outside off stump, don't you? That's the play. Or target the pads.
Target the pads, follow him, take some pace off the ball as well, because he does like to use the pace.
But at the moment, it's in between those two options, and it's too easy to put away for Aman Khan. That one, yeah, that was slower, paced off into the deck. Dot ball. So Aman Khan is enjoying his best ever batting performance in a T20. He's gone to 28 not out. Lovely straight hit. It's up in the air though. Hasn't got enough to get to the boundary, but enough to beat the fielders. And a couple more runs.
Expensive over, 16 runs off that over. And those are the type of overs that you need just to get you back on track. That run rate now 7.3, 66 for 4 after 9, and a partnership that's just starting to grow and showing signs. I know it's only 16 runs, but come at a healthy rate. And is this perhaps a little momentum changer?
Well, the innings has got a bit of energy now, so now it's about whether they can build on that, capitalize on it, keep it going. Sweep comes out, but straight to the short fine leg. Very full, and sweeper's miss, but it is a wide.
Very good start to the over. Something's brewing here. Murray still on naught. This time he gets it away to get off the mark.
We spoke about Aman Khan getting going. He was on 30. 2 balls left in the over. What's also worked out nicely for him is that he seems to have begun most of the overs on strike at the Henop River end, with the short offside boundary for him that he's been targeting. Interesting now that he's at this end. Is he going to be as effective in targeting the leg side boundary? Oh, he's got a chance there, but he's skied the sweep. Ooh. Oh, super catch. Excellently taken. Great work. And Mapaka has his second wicket.
Yeah, what a fantastic catch. This is by no means easy. You've got to run back. It's almost a sprint back. There's not a lot of height on the ball, so you've got to make sure that you get in some sort of a zone. He did it perfectly, reached out, and an excellent catch taken.
Oh, Biswanapul, the veteran, doing great work there. My money was certainly on the ball, I must say. Great catch, and it's ended a promising innings by Aman Khan. He's gone for 30, and at the halfway mark, Eastern Storm are 68 for 5.
That's a big wicket for the Rhinos, because Khan started to show signs that he wants to increase the tempo. He did it quite well, and the best way to counter that is to get him out.
New batsman is Mikhail Pillay.
Two new batters at the crease. Good opportunity for the Rhinos just to keep things quiet now. And while they keep things quiet, always have in the back of your mind that let's get another wicket. That's what you need. Those type of catches, run-outs, just to change the game. Something special can change the game on its head.
So after one fairly ordinary over from Maupa, Herman Rolfs is back. Good idea. Keep the pressure on these two new batters. Oh, not played with any great confidence by Murray. Gets the single though. Sorry. Pillay rather was on strike. The scoreboard foxing us here. He's quite a zippy sort of bowler. He seems to gather a bit of pace off the pitch.
Excellent bowling. Asking good questions, but consistently.
You can see why he was the Rhinos' leading wicket taker last season in the T20 competition. Murray hacks it across the line into the leg side. Just for one.
It's a big season for these smaller unions coming up, Ken. If you look at the restructuring around the corner from a domestic point of view, the Limpopos, the Rhinos, for everyone, in fact, it's a really, really important season for these teams.
Agreed. I think everyone has to show in this division that they are very competitive. You don't want a situation where there are four sides well ahead of everyone else in the division. And Limpopo have certainly been competitive in the last couple of years. Mpumalanga have had their struggle, but were a lot better last season. And so they'll want to continue with that momentum, with that upward trend. And I suppose at the top end, there's a chance that two teams might come up from Division 2 to Division 1. Slashed away, over point. But such a big boundary out there, the deep cover has time to get across, keep it to 2. And 73 for 5 after 11 overs. 9 overs left here. What do you think Easterns need to target here?
The problem that they have is that they've lost those 5 wickets, and in a quite soft fashion. So that will put a little bit of doubt into the next batters, thinking that, how do I approach this situation now? Because I don't want to give my wicket away. So it brings that little bit of fear of failure into the back of your mind. However, you still, a half volley remains a half volley. A cut shot remains a cut shot. And you've got to be sharp on those scoring opportunities. But the run rate has dropped to 6.6 now. It was recently just 7.3 when they've won that momentum back. They need to do more of this. Push the ball into the gaps, especially the long boundary side, run twos, just to get just a bit of energy going into their innings. But and then leave yourself a good foundation for the last 3 overs. Normally we say last 4 or 5 overs, but you've already lost 5 wickets. So that's going to become less now. So take yourself deep into the death there. Do more of that. That's however straight to the fielder, but it's a good idea. And give yourself a chance at the back end to launch a few with a small boundary. But again, I mean, you would think that 150, 160 is something. Is a score that you have to get to give yourself a chance at least.
Yeah, they need to double bare minimum what they've got in the first 11 overs. If these two can get a partnership going, and if Divan Murray stays until the end, he's shown that he can collect the boundaries. So not all is lost for the Eastern Storm, but it's going to take a very good effort from here. 77 for 5 midway through the 12th over.
Yeah, there'll always be a challenge if you have 2 new batters at the crease at the same time. Both these batters trying to get themselves in. There is a little bit of time on their side though as well. There's more time than you think.
There we go. Turn and bounce again from the Henops River end. That one just stood up on Divan Murray a bit.
And Easterns will look at that and say they're okay. We just get 150 on the board here. We've got something to bowl at.
Yeah, I think we saw in the previous game where 146 was the target. Hit very well straight down the ground by Divan Murray. That's a fabulous shot.
Umpire did very well to get out the way there. That was like a bullet.
Great way to end the over. It's 82 for 5. So I was saying the previous game, 145 was put on the board. And when Northern Cape had the Inyati 12 for 3, they were right in that game. And I know the Inyati went on to win with 3 overs to spare, but if Northern Cape had managed to break that one partnership a bit earlier, and if they'd made a few better decisions in terms of their bowling and their field placing at the back end. That could have been a competitive score.
Absolutely. I totally agree with you. They just got a couple of tactical scenarios. They didn't read the scenarios, the game.
So Maupa is back, Temba Maupa. He's under a bit of pressure because his first over went for 16, 2 fours and a 6 in that. But he's bowling to the right-hander now. He might be more comfortable with that. But the short boundary is leg side. He's got to get his line right here and his length. Not a bad line, well outside off stump, but easily steered away for the single.
Yeah, he's choosing to bowl around the wicket to the right-hand batters, which normally ends up with that angle of release going more into the stumps, which opens up the leg side area for the right-hand batters. So it's crucial for him to make sure that he gets his line right, and that previous delivery was his line.
He's definitely making it more difficult for himself, bowling around the wicket. As long off drops back, fine leg into the circle, and it's walloped down to long off for 1. Like a lot of youngsters these days, Devon Murray is showing that he can certainly give the ball a good hit. Hits it hard. Good by Maupa. Sliced off the outside half of the bat over extra cover by Murray. He'll get a couple.
The batter's got to read this situation here, especially with a left-arm seamer bowling around the wicket. That ball for me was one that you could have hit over long on up in the circle. I would personally also look to bat on off stump, which takes out the LBW there. That ball has got to go over long on.
Staying too leg side of it, really. You can only hit it to long off. I agree with you with the angle of the bowler.
That's a low risk option. You're looking straight.
Oh my word. It's been a good over up to that point by Maupa, but the umpire's already got the hand out for a no ball. Maupa will have to bowl that one again.
Yeah, that should be a first warning as well. It was directed at the body. Doesn't matter if it's not on purpose or not.
Yeah, Mikhail Pilla had to duck very quickly there.
Yeah, I'm not really understanding the field placing. Yeah.
They can, of course, change the field because batsman ran a by. Free it. Dragged across to mid-wicket by Murray. Just the one. Devon Murray just not quite as fluent as he can be at the moment. He goes to 14 not out. It's the end of the 13th over. 91 for 5.
I'll probably look back later on and I'll refer to this 13th over where there was an opportunity for the Eastern Storm to take this matchup down. And you do get those opportunities in a game. You've got to be aware of it. You've got to read that moment and utilize it. And I don't think they've utilized this matchup. Left arm seamer bowling around the wicket, attacking the stumps, and we've not seen one boundary in that over.
And it's a bowler under pressure already. His first over's gone for 16. So a bit more positive intent at the start of the over, as you say. It's not a huge risk to step across and play him straight over long on, over mid on. So Aubrey Swanepoel comes into the attack. That'll just be 1 too long on. Swanepoel, the 6th bowler. I fancy Mpumalanga captain Herman Rolfs reckons he's going to have to make up a couple of overs for Mawupa, probably 2 overs for 25 at the moment.
Good running.
Yeah, good running. I would like to see, however, you know, as experienced and canny as Aubrey Swanepoel is, this is a moment also, he's the 6th bowler, where put him under a bit of pressure. Let's see Devan Marais maybe come down the wicket. He's not a huge turner of the ball, is Aubrey Swanepoel, and instead he's skied it to point. Oh, well.
That's the story of this Eastern Storm innings. It's just the way they got themselves out. Very, very soft. That was full. It was wide. It was, if you get yourself into a good position, you just hit that straight over extra cover. Look at the technique there, just slicing across the body. Easy catch. And again, partnership that's just started to show good signs, and it's broken.
Yeah, 17 off 18 balls for Devan Marais. Just the 1-4. And yeah, we spoke about it. He just battled to get going today. Didn't really bat with any fluency. And a bonus wicket, one has to say, for the Mpumalanga Rhinos. And they've bowled tidily. They've bowled okay. But just about all the Eastern Storm batsmen, I think, can look back and say that they've got themselves out.
95 for 6 in the 14th over. Run rate around 7 runs per over, which will take you to the 140, 150 mark. But the Rhinos would think that if we get another quick wicket here, we can restrict them. Restrict them to 130. That's the other side of the coin.
Andrew Rasamene is the new batsman.
Aubrey Swanepoel, he's very experienced. He knows exactly what his plans are. He's got a slip in place as well. And that's also a sign of the experience that he's got, knowing that we get another quick wicket here, we can really restrict Eastern Storm here, because there's an opportunity here for the Rhinos to dig deep.
Yeah, 95 for 6 after 14 overs. So 6 overs left in this innings. And 6 wickets down is going to be a problem for the Eastern Storm. They could even be bowled out. But they also need to get some quick runs on the board as well, just to post a target. It might be defendable. Duke's back and just sliding down the leg side. Our fancy pillow's got a little ticker on that. And a bonus boundary. That will help. First ball of the over.
It's that typical loosener back into the bowling attack. That body is not activated properly. Sliding it down leg side. It's not the ideal way to start your over.
He still looks a bit stiff, Dukes, doesn't he? Not that much energy behind that delivery as there was in his opening spell. He's bowled 3 overs in the power play, so he's got 4 balls now to get through. Single, and they're going to get 2. Poor backing up, one has to say, by the Rhinos. It was always very clear where that throw was coming, and the fielders were very slow to get in from the outfield. 100 up for the Eastern Storm, and it's taken 93 deliveries. Work by Dukes. Dukes has boundary fielders at deep cover, deep backward square leg, cow corner and long on. Cow corner will come in to field that one. Eastern Storm really haven't made use of that short leg side boundary much in this innings.
Yeah, I suppose Khan did that 1 over, but apart from that, they haven't really.
Nicely timed, wide of mid-on. Bit of work to do. Oh, well. The 2 Rhinos fielders rather ushered that ball to the boundary, but a very timely boundary for the Eastern Storm. Gareth Dukes finishes his 4 over quota, and 2 for 35 for him.
Excellent shot. Great timing and placement. Dukes started the over with a boundary, finished the over with a boundary as well. He's 4 overs for 35. He got the 2 wickets.
Decent outing for Gareth Dukes. But we go into the last 5 overs of this innings with the Eastern Storm 106 for 6. If things go well for them, they can still get to 150 and more. But Pillow looks like being the key now. He's on 17 not out. Been at the crease for a while. And Aubrey Sonneborn continues. Coming back for the second. He'll have to hurry. He does well. Does Rasameni get Pillay back on strike?
The bowler won't be happy with that. It shouldn't be two.
Oh, unlucky deflection for one. Aubrey Sonneborn, 36 years old now. And has played over 100 2020 games. Well beaten there, Rasameni. Good hit. Will it clear long on? Yes, it will. Onto the banks.
Yes, there's a blow. It's a well-needed blow for Eastern Storm. Partnership that's grown to 20.
Rasameni's little flourish at the back of the shot there, just drawing some laughs from his teammates in their change room to the right of us. Always very enjoyable watching tail enders plunder a few runs at the back end of an innings. Pele cuts but straight to extra cover to end the over. 116 for 6 after 16. Good over that for the Rhinos. They started by turning a 1 into a 2, and there was a steady flow of ones through the over, and also a really good strike for 6 by Andrew Rasameni. Herman Rolfs returns now to bowl his last over. Nicely played by Rasameni. It was almost a double bluff. It looked, by the way he was standing, that he was looking to open up the leg side, and then he stepped a little bit across to off, but really nicely played, just lofting it over extra cover.
Yeah, very nicely played, especially how wide that ball was to still get it that straight. Hands, body position, foundation, everything working together. Keep his shape.
Oh, dropped by the bowler. Rolfs deceived the batter there. Might have to bowl that again. Yeah, he does, just outside that red marker there, which is just a guideline for the umpires. A lot depends on whether the batter moves horizontally in the crease. Good idea though by the bowler. that's a bit harsh, I think, by the umpire. If we see where the batter ended up, and I fancy that ball went over the red line.
Yes, and it looked like it gripped because it was a pace-off cutter.
Unlucky, Herman Rolfs. Well, that's clearly a wider. And they're going to get an extra run with the bye. Flat batter down towards long off. Coming back for two, and the lackluster fielding makes it an easy two.
The Rhinos, they started well in the field, but I must say the last few overs, too many mistakes.
They just need to raise the energy levels a bit. They're heading for a really vital part of the innings now. They've done the hard work. They've restricted the Eastern Storm to 124 for 6. They really don't want to let the Eastern Storm get off the hook now, and if they add another 40 runs in the last few overs, it's very much game on. Good meaty blow by Pillay, but just the one too long on. Good fielding on that occasion. Swanepoel down there. And a tidy end to the over by Herman Rolfs. Brought a few wides in there. But 126 for 6 after 17 overs. So 3 overs remaining. John Hendrickson still has 2 overs to bowl, and he's gone for just 3 runs in those 2 overs. Taken a wicket, so I fancy he's going to bowl the 18th and the 20th. And we have Rolfs has bowled out now. Dukes has bowled out. But, quite possibly will be a guy like Aubrey Swanepoel, I think, to bowl the 19th over. He's bowled tidily, the 2 he's bowled so far, the spinner. And, has the experience to bowl at the death. Hendrickson does return from the hen observer end. Bowled a maiden, 2 overs, 1 maiden, 1 for 3. Wonderful figures.
Now they're just going to have to watch their over rate here as well. Especially with that previous over, which was a 9-ball over. Just drifting a little bit through the overs now, the Rhinos.
Yeah, they've got 10 minutes to bowl 3 overs, don't they? So
you don't know what's going to happen in the 10 minutes. In terms of boundaries, or a bit of chaos can delay the process.
Exactly. Even wickets can count against you. Just a single to start the over. And there's a deduction of 2 log points if you have slow over rates in this competition, the Momentum Health Challenge. too.
2 points, yes.
5 points for a win, which is interesting, and you can get 6 points in if you win with a bonus point. Great bowling by Henriksen. And Pillay, he did well to get back to it, but then he kind of fell over, left his bat behind, and was only able to scramble through for the one. That was an excellent delivery here at the death by John Henriksen. Down the wicket and bowled. Excellent bowling this by John Henriksen. Rasameni has batted nicely for his 15, but outfoxed that time, charging down the wicket. And Henriksen fires it into middle and off. Well, just off stump, as you see there. Excellent bowling.
Yeah, excellent Yorker. Valuable contribution from Rasamene.
Out for 15 off 11 balls. Andrew Rasameni, a 4 and a 6 in there. John Henriksen now has 2 wickets for very little in his third over. Born in Nelspruit, so Mpumalanga product, but began his senior career with Northwest. Good shot by Jess James Albany. Just gets 1 though. I think that's off the body, so it'll be leg bars. Henriksen really mixing it up really well. He's bowled a couple of Yorkers, and it was the short pitch delivery.
He's got excellent figures. 1 ball remaining in this over.
Dan goes full and just a single. Excellent 18th over by John Henriksen. So important for a team to have a bowler at the death who really knows what they're doing, really knows their strategies, and who can execute. And Mpumalanga seem to have that, judging by that over at least, but in John Henriksen, just 4 runs off that over.
2 for 7 in his 3 overs. He's had a brilliant day.
Well, here's a surprise. Timber Maupa is going to bowl 2 overs for 25 so far, and he is going to bowl around the wicket again with a short leg side boundary. 2 right-handers at the crease, and only 2 fielders back on the leg side boundary.
He's got to go fairly wide. Looking at the deep point on the boundary, deep extra cover, long off. Got away with that. That's way too straight.
Absolutely.
You've mentioned it earlier, Ken, is that Easterns, they haven't used the opportunity, and there have been a couple now to the short boundary.
Mikhail Pillay back on strike. That's who the Eastern Storm would want on strike. He's on 24 not out. Can he now take advantage? Yeah, that's well bowled, but Maupa got it out there, well outside. Off stump, but inside that red wide marker.
Yeah, that's the perfect delivery. And the thing is, you also don't have to go full. You can go pace off wide into the wicket.
Makes it even harder, doesn't it? Batsman swinging for the hills. Little step across there by Pillay, and again, pace off by Maupa. Flummoxes the batsman. Good bowling, Temba Maupa. This one is hit firmly down the ground. Long off in business. Running in and taken.
Well judged catch by Swanepoel. It wasn't well timed, so you got to have a second or two to judge that. He did it very well, stay calmed under the ball, nice and composed.
So Mikhail Pillay departs for 24 of 25 balls, and reward for Temba Maupa for getting the ball in the right place. Good line outside off stump there, and Pillay forced to go down towards long off. Not a clean enough strike, and so he's gone. 132 for 8 now, the Eastern Storm, and under a bit of pressure to bat out their entire 20 overs. The new batsman is Tumelo Semilani. Eight balls remaining in the innings. If the Storm can get 8 of those out, it takes them to 140. Well, it's theoretically defendable, but it would take a really good bowling effort by them and fielding. Oh, slow ball came out wrong. High full toss, and well done Semilani. He's put that away for 4 over gully. Pity, it was a very good over by Maupa up to that point. Just a single off it and he got the wicket. But he's gone for 5. You can see there it was a variation that just came out wrong.
Yeah, just had to keep it simple. You've got the left-hander, it's a new batter. Just pace off into the wicket. Worst case scenario, they get 1 on the leg side. Try to be a little bit fancy there.
Against the number 10.
Yeah, not needed.
Yeah. So, final over of the innings, 136 for 8. The Eastern Storm, we fancy that they need a big over here to get a competitive score. It's John Hendrickson bowling. Good strike, down to long off on the bounce, just 1 though. Hendrickson now 3 overs and 1 delivery, 2 for 8. So he's been quite outstanding. fumble by wicketkeeper Katade allows the bye. What? Oh, should that not have been a wide?
Should be a wide.
Wide and, well, Eastern Storm denied an extra delivery, but see the umpire signalling that the batsman walked across. He was, I did notice he was taking guard just outside off stump. Peel and Given caught behind. Hendrickson has another.
Fine edge. Yeah, you're not going to reach that delivery if you're not getting yourself into the channel of that ball. Eastern Storm 9 down in the last over. It will definitely be a feather in the cap of the Rhinos if they can bowl Eastern Storm out.
Al-Badi goes for 4 of 5 deliveries. Hendrickson has 3 for 8 now. And just keeping it simple there to the tail enders. Outside off stump. As the last batsman comes to the crease, Parth Patel. Oh, well struck by Parth Patel. It's a tremendous shot by the number 11 batsman. I have a feeling Parth Patel has scored a few runs at under 19 level. Bit surprised to see him at number 11. It was a tremendous blow. Once again, the umpire having to get out the way quickly. But Parth Patel off the mark with a spanking 4 down the ground. The bouncer was predictable. You get a bye out of it. Last ball of the innings coming up. 143 for 9. It's a respectable score. The Eastern Storm will have to bowl very well to defend this. Swing and a miss. Hendrickson completes the run out and saves the run. So the Eastern Storm will finish on 143 all out.
Here we can see that they had to run to the keeper, but the Eastern Storm, they got bowled out. 143 all out. They would argue that they have got something on the board. But, as you correctly say, Ken, is that they're going to have to bowl very well to restrict the Rhinos.
Just little things here. Kind of would have liked Mpumalanga maybe to get out the dive.
Yeah.
Might not have made it, but every run can make a difference at this level. At any level, in fact.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. But we'll see later in the second innings if 143, 144 is going to be enough. This morning's game, it was certainly not enough. But has the Rhinos, have they got the batters to chase this down?
So, 143 scored by the Eastern Storm. The leading scorers were Aman Khan, promoted up the order did nicely, 30 runs for him, and Mikhail Pillay 24 of 25 balls. The other main contributor, there were a few starts, guys like Jason van Dijk 12, Duvan Marais 17, Andrew Rasameni 15, but no one really going on to play that dominant innings that the Eastern Storm needed to get past 150. 143 all out, and led the Mpumalanga Rhinos bowling, led by an outstanding effort by opening bowler John Henriksen, who took 3 cheap wickets in his 4 overs. So Easterns achieved 7.1 runs per over. I fancy Mpumalanga needs 7.2 runs per over then to join the Eastern Cape in Yati as the 2 winning teams on this first day of the Momentum Health Challenge. Do join us in 10 minutes or so for the Mpumalanga Rhinos reply. Welcome back to Supersport Park, where the Mpumalanga Rhinos are chasing 144 to win their match against the Eastern Storm on day one, match 2 of the Momentum Health Challenge. And electing to bat first, the Eastern Storm, of the last ball of the 20th over. Excellent bowling performance by Mpumalanga, especially the outstanding John Henriksen. 4 overs, 1 maiden, 3 for 12. There were 2 wickets apiece for Gareth Dukes and the spinner, Tatela Mapaka, as well. And 1 wicket each for Tem Mawupa and Aubrey Swanepoel. It's my great pleasure to be alongside Pierre de Bruin. Pierre, I think we can agree it's going to take a really good bowling effort to defend this score.
Yeah, certainly. We saw in the first game this morning as well that 144 was not enough. Eastern Storm, they're going to have to be very disciplined with their plans to try and defend this small total. On the other hand, they'll feel that they have got something on the board. And the way they're going to start this power play will be crucial in how they're going to set up to defend such a total. And immediately they're starting with spin. There's a slip in place left arm spinner in the bowling attack. Perhaps they feel that pace off on this wicket is key. And we have seen it throughout the day. The moment bowlers take pace off, it's just a little bit harder for the batsman. Deep mid wicket, there's a slip in place, long off on the boundary. First ball.
And Tumelo Simelane starts with a wide down the leg side. Zakia Katrada, the batsman, the person who kept wicket. Again, down leg. 2 wides to start.
He's either looking for turn on that line, but there isn't any. He's got to have to adjust his line. Much better.
Yeah, would you want a sort of middle and off line from the left arm spinner?
Yes, exactly. It's almost though that theory of don't leave the stumps, but also leg stump line could be a dangerous line with square leg up in the ring.
And the short boundary. So a much better back end of this first over from Simelane. Gareth Dukes is the opening batsman at the other end, so Dukes is opening the batting and the bowling. Now 2 leg side again. He's very lucky to get away with a dot ball there. Is Simelane.
Our margins are very small to this shorter boundary. That leg stump line will invite you to sweep. That's an excellent line in length. Good comeback after the first 2 wides.
And Katrada gets his innings underway off the last ball of the first over. 3 without loss. Pierre, it's interesting how, especially in T20 cricket, there are always sort of flavours of the month in terms of what sort of bowler T20 coaches want. And it used to be wrist spinners was the big thing. Do you agree? It looks like left arm spinners have actually become the new sort of thing that every T20 coach wants in the team.
I think left arm spinners are certainly more favourable in the power play. You see a lot of left arm spin bowling in the power play. Your wrist spinners, they still play a valuable role. The Rashid Khans, Adil Rashid, those type, Zampa, you know, those bowlers you normally see 7th over, they straight in. They strike bowlers, they are seen as strike bowlers.
And you Rasamene. And Duke Katrada doubles his score.
Yeah, we haven't seen a wrist spinner today, have we?
Parth Patel, I think, bowls leg breaks for the Eastern Storm, so hopefully we get to see him. Wrist spinners obviously can challenge both edges of the batter, and I guess that's the good thing about left-arm spinners, so can they.
Yes, definitely. The wrist spinners these days, they've got so many options. The one that just slides on, the orthodox left-arm spin, and as well as the googly. And many years ago, you would have said that left-arm spinners to left-hand batters wasn't a good matchup. But these days, you just see how these wrist spinners use their variation to counter that against left-hand batters.
Tidy first half of the over by Rasamene. Needs to finish well. Pulled away in the gap between mid-on and mid-wicket. Not perfectly timed, and they will just get a couple of runs. Off the mark with that brace. That was pulled from outside off stump.
Yes, on 3 occasions now he's hit the fielders. 2 cut shots and then that one.
Well, he literally hit Sekikuni there, the guy. Had to wear it on the body. Rubbing his chest a bit. Took a bit of an awkward bounce in front of him. He's now being pushed out onto the cow corner boundary, just trying to protect the over. Bowler Rasamene, good over, just 3 runs off it so far with 1 ball remaining. And the other field on the leg side boundary is going from just in front of square to just behind. The one to end. So good first over by Andrew Rasamene. It's 7 without loss after 2.
Yeah, decent start for Eastern Storm. It's the 7 runs in the first 2 overs.
They do need to start well with a moderate total to defend of 143. And a change of bowling from the West Lane in. Aman Khan, who was the top scorer with the bat with 30. Coming on to bowl now. He had a very good T20 challenge last season for Easterns. Key man. Hit away, straight away, great intent. Over mid-on for 6. That's a wonderful stroke by Gareth Dukes.
Yeah, very good shot. First ball full. In the slot. And met with a straight bat. Over long on. Nice strong base. Look at that. Dead still. That's where your power comes from.
think you were saying earlier today, Pierre, about modern T20 demanding that it doesn't matter what ball the over is, what ball it is in your innings, but as a batter these days, if it's in an area where it's got to go, it's got to go. Khan pulls his length back a bit there, that's better. Swinging across the line, targeting the short leg side boundary there, but just edged down to short fine leg.
Now, almost the same delivery as the one he hit for 6, but this time you can see how he's lost his shape. Tried to hit it too hard.
Yeah, he ended up almost in a crouched position, whereas the 6 he hit, he stood beautifully tall and still was the word you used, Pierre. Yeah, a bit like that again. He hasn't got all of this one, but it's going to be a 4 over mid-on. And this is good straight hitting by Gareth Dukes. How long can the Eastern Storm afford to keep mid-on up?
Well, not if you're going to bowl that length. It's too full. This time he's kept his shape a little bit. He tried to be as still as possible. Maybe a touch too early on that. But still had enough power. Field change, third man up. Long on the boundary. Deep square on the boundary.
Right at there in the block hole by Aman Khan. Good comeback.
Dukes has got a nice start here. 2 good boundaries.
It'll also take a bit of pressure off Sakir Katrade, his partner. That's a swipe across the line to deep square leg for just a single. Dukes will keep the strike. 3 overs gone, 18 without loss.
Required run rate 7.4. That won't bother them too much. It is a ground where you can make up easily. You see overs that can go for between 15 and 20 runs. That can change things immediately. So that wouldn't be a concern to them. What they have to bear in mind is not to give easy, soft wickets away. We saw that with the Eastern Storms, that the form of dismissals were way too soft. Didn't allow them to build any match-winning partnerships or match-winning innings. The Rhinos will have to avoid that.
Yeah, if your highest scored in innings is going to be only 30, you're going to have problems getting a match-winning score. Sameni continues. Nicely struck, fantastic bit of fielding. Oh, that's 4 runs saved without a shadow of a doubt by Mikhail Pillay. Excellent work at cover.
That was hit hard. Brutal timing.
Carpelle, second most runs in the Eastern Storm innings, 24. Swatted away on the leg side by Dukes for just one.
Clever batting. Long boundary, two fielders on the boundary on the leg side, so he didn't try and out-muscle that. He just helped it along for easy single.
Hooked, bit of a top edge by Katrada, but there's no one behind the square to catch it, and it's run away for 4, despite the efforts of the square leg boundary rider running around.
Just got enough bat on that. Wasn't the worst delivery, perhaps we wanted it a bit higher. But that ball is always just going to spin away from you. Not the best effort. Should have managed to just to get it back into play.
Again, deep square leg is being moved from just in front of square to just behind square. Beautiful day out in Centurion. No clouds in sight, very little wind.
Yeah, not every year you'll see the 1st of September temperatures of 30, 32 in Gauteng.
A lot of people go for a swim on the 1st of September, and through the years it's often been very cold.
Yeah.
Oh, makes room and slashes beautifully over point onto the grass banks. Excellent 6 by Zakia Katrada.
That's a classic shot. Must say that it's not the best bowling, because it's too short, and all you can do is just give yourself room, get your hands through the ball. With that bounce, you just keep going up. He's done that very well.
Got into position very quickly, Katrada. Gets his reward. That was sweetly out the middle of the bat. And a great way to end the over for the Mpumalanga Rhinos.
I'm just always amazed that, you know, you saw the pattern throughout the day from a seam bowling perspective, is that the moment you take pace off, it just becomes a lot harder for the batters. And it's like there's almost that's got to be bowled again. It's almost like a rule that you're not allowed to take pace off in the power play. Why wouldn't you?
Exactly right, Pierre.
I fully understand that you want to get and see if there's swing. We've seen swing with a new ball throughout the day.
Good save by Jason van Dijk, the wicketkeeper. Previous delivery. Nothing's going to save that though. That's 4 more.
Just see how that ball is racing away with pace on.
Yeah, you do wonder sometimes whether the bowlers sitting in the change room while the batters are doing their work are actually watching and absorbing what is working and what's not working.
What has worked for the Eastern Storm in this power play was the left arm spinner who bowled 1 over. Haven't seen him again.
Down the wicket now comes Dukes and slashes that through the point region for another boundary.
They've got a fantastic start here. Worrying times for Eastern Storm. But tactically, just getting it wrong here.
Supersport Park is always pretty unforgiving arguing for just straight up seam bowling, back of a length, without energy or pace behind it. And I'm afraid that's what Albany is delivering at the moment. Oh no. Hammered away this time over extra cover.
Yeah, it's poor bowling, Ken. You ask any batter that's played cricket here and ask him, what do you want the most on the wicket like this and an outfield like this? And dimensions that are, it's not the biggest ground in the world. They'll all say to you, just give me pace. Even if you bowl 140 k's an hour, just please give me pace. It opens up the square boundary for you, both sides of the wicket. It pings off the bat when it's full. I think a coach like Jeffrey Tiana that's played a lot of cricket, yeah, he's coached here before. I'm very surprised that tactic is not being used.
Oh, again, it was too short really by Albany, and angling down leg. It's missed everything. It's gone for 4 byes. Bowler feels aggrieved here, but yeah, it's still too short, Pierre, isn't it? And it's
too short.
It's down leg.
I've not seen these batters on the front foot in this over. But there's a little bit of chaos going on here now for Eastern Storm. They can't stop the bleeding. Harder length. Required run rate is now 6.3 runs per over, so call it a runner ball. So the Rhinos got the perfect start.
And as you were saying earlier, one big over. This one's cost 17 already with 1 more left. Just changes the complexion of things in T20 cricket so quickly. Duke's perhaps going a little bit early, telegraphing what he wanted to do there. But it's been a great over for the Mpumalanga Rhinos.
And that's the frustration of the modern game. We all like the modern game, but there's just a small example of the modern game that just gets players sometimes completely out of the process. Everything's working for Dukes at the moment. He's playing good cricket shots. He's really looking organised, and then he comes out with that. Not sure if that was the right option. He'd been ruthless, hitting the ball through the covers, through the inner ring. Just keep doing that.
I agree.
Don't give Eastern Storm any sniff now. You're the in batter. There's one thing that Eastern Storm would love to see now is the back of you. Don't allow that.
Bit edgy. Behind square on the offside, just the one for Katrada.
Eastern Storm, they in the field, they just look a bit flat now. Last over of the power play, 49 runs on the board already.
Nicely flicked away behind square on the offside for 4, and that brings up 50 for the Mpumalanga Rhinos of just 35 deliveries.
Just keep doing that. Seems like you're going to get 1 or 2 poor deliveries. You don't have to try and do anything different. Help it along. Use these wrists.
6 4s and 2 6s. And we are inside the 6th over. 5 overs and 2 deliveries bowled. So more than a boundary and over that the Eastern Storm have leaked. Full toss on leg stump, and Dukes helps himself to 4 more.
Absolutely raining boundaries here in this power play.
And now straight down the ground. That's a wonderful shot by Gareth Dukes. 4 more.
Stay with that, Dukes. Just stay with that plan. If you can hit the ball like that, you don't have to reverse sweep a seamer. That's a good cricket shot.
Yeah, at the moment the bowlers are dishing up more than enough loose deliveries to find the boundaries. There's no need to try and do anything special or extravagant. Just a bit of a shuffle down. That's well bowled by Khan, stymieing the attacking intent of Dukes there. Gareth Dukes has a career strike rate of 170 in T20 cricket.
That's impressive.
Average is 19.55, but you know, as a bowler, he's a very handy customer with that sort of batting. Oh, thumping shot to extra cover. Brilliant by Gareth Dukes.
Yeah, we're seeing some brutal batting here at the moment, especially from Dukes. No wonder that career strike rate is around the 170 mark, because look at that shot. Placed it perfectly, on purpose. Just steered it into the gap, relied on pure timing.
And it's 65 without loss at the end of the power play. 6 overs gone. And the last 2 were especially punishing for the Eastern Storm. And Mpumalanga Rhinos have had just the start they wanted. And they now need 79 off 84 balls to win this game. The DLS power often gives you a good indication of who the dominant team is at the moment, and after 6 overs the DLS power is 40. The Rhinos are 65 without loss.
Yeah, no wonder. Over 7 we see spin again.
Similani back, drops a little bit short with his first delivery. Gets away with it though.
But extra bounce.
Yeah. Chinese cut.
It looks like he's going to keep that positive intent.
Anyway, over the covers, bit of a spinning ball for the fielder to contend with. Watches it well, just a single for Dukes. I think it's fine that he stays aggressive as long as he sticks to the same kind of game plan that's worked for him so far. That's too short, and he'll try to help himself to an easy one. No need for fancy reverse paddles and things. He's so strong. Just keep hitting down the ground and away on the leg side when the chance presents itself. Steps across to the offside, very well played.
That's called a one-handed sweep.
Yeah. Just shows his strength, really. Bowler Similani probably trying the right thing. It was just a low full tosser, and this is brilliantly put away.
That's very wide. That's a great shot.
.72 without loss then after 7 overs, and it looks like we are going to get past Patel. Coming on to bowl. Yeah, the Eastern Storm needs something and they need it quickly. Yeah, some brisk leg spin from Patel.
A very quick arm action. Bowls it quite flat, quite quick. It's one of those, if the ball is on the stumps, you've got to look to play straight. He's not going to get a lot of bounce.
Oh, diving effort and extra cover. He got one hand to it. Would have been a magnificent catch if he pulled it off. Chris Britz, I think, out there. 50 up for Gareth Dukes, though, with those couple of runs off. Just 29 balls, 9 fours and a 6.
Yeah, 42 of his runs came off boundaries. That is very good hitting, ball striking, but also in combination with some average bowling, to say the least.
That one floated up a bit more by Patel, but overpitched, and he pays the price as Dukes connects his 10th boundary. Just lashed away through extra cover.
Yeah, he's not going to stop. I like his approach, but as you said earlier, it's just got to be calculated. Doesn't have to do anything different. That was a full half volley outside the off stump, and he just caressed it through extra cover for a boundary.
Overpitched again and hit wonderfully straight this time by Dukes. 4 more.
Eastern Storm, they don't have any answers here. Too flat, too quick, too full. In that previous over, if anything, just try something different. The wicket is so good. You go a touch slower and get your length right, you've got a much better chance. You're asking also the batter to do more. At the moment, you're just offering ball speed, you're offering length. Make it a little bit more difficult.
Yeah, get back to the basics and find the right length for the surface. Sakia Katrada now on strike. He's on 18 not out. Dukes is 58. Oh no. Wide down the leg side and a bye. Bowler Albani just holding a hand up in apology.
I think I mentioned this morning that the border team, they don't look rusty at all for this time of the year. I must say, the Eastern Storm team, they look rusty. They look like in pre-season mode.
Nice little flick of the wrists by Dukes.
And this is where your coach will sit, take this week and see exactly what's needed to be done for the next couple of weeks in terms of their preparation.
Well, he bowled it right where he wanted it, didn't he? Stepped across outside off and just able to almost drive that full delivery through mid-wicket for 4.
I'm not sure, Ken, what the use is for that third man. That third man might as well get a camp chair and just sit there because you're out the game. Looking at both these batters, they are opening up the leg side, even with wider balls. But your deep square's got to go to the boundary. At the moment, they're just cruising at 10 runs and over. Effortless.
Still no change to the field. Dukes again targeting the leg side there. Don't be fooled by the practice shot he played
That's just
afterwards.
That's just in hindsight saying I should have gone there.
Dukes. Hope he hasn't done himself a mischief. Falling over as he reached for that wide delivery from Albani. Oh yeah, I think he has tweaked a knee or something. He's going to have to bowl that one again. Oh no, and Van Dijk has missed it totally. So, well, the in-one highway is beyond the boundary. That ball went, and I think you almost see a pair of wheels racing down the highway without a car attached, because the wheels really are falling off now for the Eastern Storm.
Eventually, a change to the field. Third man coming up, deep square going out.
Lashed away through the covers and work for the field. A good effort. Good effort. He saved the boundary there. As Divan Murray. But you saw Dukes there. This time the right shot for the delivery. Lashing it through the offside. Very nearly got the boundary. End of the over. It's 98 without loss after just 9 overs.
Required run rate is now 4 runs and over. But they're keeping up this tempo, the intent, the intensity that they're batting at.
Well, they need 46 to win. And if they can do it within the next 42 deliveries, they get a bonus point. And one has to say that from here, the Rhinos would be very disappointed if they don't get a bonus point out of this match, and that would put them on top of the standings after the first day of the Momentum Health Challenge. Similani is returning to replace Patel at the head observer end. Tossed up and very well played by Katrada. Inside out, over extra cover. Good cricket. He's been a good foil, has Katrada, to Gareth Dukes. He goes to 27, and the 100 is up off just 60 deliveries. 14 fours, 2 sixes. More runs. Oh, the fielder nearly made a mess of it down on the boundary. And they come through for 3. Some alterations to the field as deep cover goes to deep extra cover. Duke stick with that fine, you'll get one. Too short from Similani and cut away for 4.
Yeah, not a good delivery that. Short, wide. And that ball is always going to spin away from the fielder on the boundary.
Delicate, nicely played. Just for 1. End of the 10th over, 112 without loss. The Mpumalanga Rhinos need 32 off 60 balls to win, and to get the bonus point they need 32 off 36 balls, all 10 wickets in hand. Openers Zakia Katrada 35 not out, and Gareth Dukes scorching 63 not out.
Yeah, in these innings and partnerships, we always tend to focus on the batter with the highest score, the most falls, but Katrada has played an excellent support role, just quietly in the background. You know, that type of role Hashim Amla always played in white ball cricket, while A.B. de Villiers and those batters, it's just fireworks. But never underestimate, you know, the innings that he has played.
Absolutely, I don't think Katrada has faced many dot balls at all. He's scored from most of his deliveries and has given Gareth Dukes plenty of strike and allowed him to cut loose and really dominate as Rasameni switches ends to the West Lane end. Wants to consult with his captain, Chris Britz. Not sure if much came of that discussion. No real field change. It did.
Well, you've got to go wide here, Ken.
Good Yorker from Rasamene.
Dangerous line though.
Yes, yeah, it was very straight, which was risky. If he got that slightly wrong, he was looking at being whipped through the leg side to the short boundary. So Chris Britz is the only fielder in the ring in front of square on the offside. Powerfully struck by Dukes. Long on field. He generates a lot of power, Gareth Dukes. Quite a short back lift. When he gets it right, when the timing's there.
But he's a strong man. I think you've mentioned it earlier. He's a strong man. You can see his arms. But what I like about him is that he's got a lovely whip of the wrist. Sometimes if he wants to, and when he plays the ball squarer there as well, you know, tries to get to activate those wrists on contact. That gives you a lot more power.
Something I guess our batters have learned from subcontinental cricketers.
Virat Kohli is one. I think that one that stands really out with extremely strong wrists is Maxwell. Oh, this wicket-keeper has had not a good day behind the stumps.
Certainly not. The other wicket keepers don't seem to have struggled as much.
No.
So, Jason van Dijk. Let's see if anything out of the ordinary happens. It bounced just before him, and it was awkward. But still. It's been a very messy performance by the Eastern Storm in the field, disappointing with the bat as well, and they're on the verge of a heavy defeat. Delivery by Rasameni. He's bowled some quite good Yorkers in his 3 overs, none for 19, considering the carnage of the overall run rate's 10.7. He's done a pretty good job as the all-rounder. 118 without loss after 11 overs.
Only 26 runs required now to win this game. And that bonus point is in reach.
Yeah, 5 overs left for the bonus point, 26 needed, so it would take something special for the Eastern Storm to deny that bonus point to the Rhinos. Similani is going to bowl out now. He's also been tidy with the ball, 3 overs for 24, not too bad. Switch it. Gets it over the infield. And 1 bounce for. Well played, Gareth Dukes. He's earned the right, I think, now
Yep.
to
100%.
pull out a few fancy shots.
100%. And it's a different story against the spinners. Clever. Look at those wrists again. Really, really impressed.
And now blasted through extra cover for another boundary.
I was about to say, really impressed with this performance from Dukes. Looks like a fantastic all-round player. There we go. Just timing. Very good placement. And the Mpumalanga Rhinos, they are sending a very strong message to every team in this competition.
Yeah, they look to have some very good seamers. Henriksen, Dukes, Rolfs. Tutelo Mapaka, the spinner, bowled really nicely. And bowler ducks as the ball came back to him on the bounce, I think. So it wasn't the catch. And what a powerful batting display by the 2 openers. Now 128 they've put on inside 12 overs. Quick single. Yeah, that's Caprada's game. It's going to be interesting to see at the end of his innings how many dot balls he's faced. It's really not many at all. He's looped another wicketkeeper, has lost sight of it. And Gareth Dukes will get the most fortunate run of his innings so far. Takes him to 74, end of the 12th over, 130 without loss. I think we're also seeing in this innings just what is possible on this pitch in terms of proper T20 batting with intent, with aggression, and if the bowling side does get it a little bit wrong. Aman Khan will now bowl his third over. He's gone for 28 and 2. Right arm over the wicket. Dukes on strike on 74 not out. Dragged down to long on for one.
Yeah, he's had a couple of those today in Dukes as well as he played. Just a couple of those where he just wants to hit the ball too hard. And then he loses his head going backwards, loses his shape.
Dukes has a first-class 100 and a couple of 50s in List A cricket, but this is a career best effort for him in T20s. Oh, struck beautifully by Zakia Katrada. Let's not forget the quality this man has shown as well, and that's one of the shots of the day.
That's a great shot. Effortless. Just look at this. Just effortless. Waiting for the ball, dead still. Pure timing.
And using the angle beautifully, and that's perhaps also what some of the other batters today could have done better in terms of getting onto that off stump and hitting it over mid-on or hitting it straight. Better line by Khan. Eleven wides now in this innings.
That sums up their day. All-round performance was definitely scratchy. Sluggish in a way. They would definitely will have to raise the bar to stay in this competition going forward.
Pulled one of those off very nicely, but well, he's been given out, LBW. It just shows the lack of energy the Eastern Storm have.
Was he bowled?
I think he's been bowled, yeah. There's the bail, yeah. But hardly an appeal, hardly a celebration. Gareth Dukes is finally out for 75 or 47 balls. Wonderful innings by him. which has surely set up a bonus point victory for the Mpumalanga Rhinos. Scoreboard has them as being out LBW. It'll be interesting to see a replay. Unfortunately, there's a technical issue at the moment. We're not able to show you a replay. But the off barrel was certainly on the ground. But the umpire certainly raised his finger as well. So, interesting. Bottom line, Dukes is out for 75 or 47 balls. But just 5 runs left to win now as Yassa Cook comes to the wicket. Just 4 runs needed now for the Mpumalanga Rhinos, and what an emphatic statement they've made on day 1 of this Momentum Health Challenge. Coach Consolidation will be absolutely delighted with the all-round display, both the bowling and the batting. Parth Patel is returning to bowl his second over. His first over went for 11. Bowls at sort of Anil Kumble pace, doesn't he?
Yeah, definitely. He doesn't have the height of Anil Kumble,
No.
but definitely the pace. Fairly quick, and with that pace, you've got to attack the stumps. You can't leave the stumps.
So that single means there are 3 runs left to win, and Zakia Katrada is 6 away from a 50, and perhaps it would be fitting for him to end it all with a maximum over the ropes. He gets his 50, he's gone for it, but he has sliced under it a bit. It drops well short of long off, but they come back for 2, and so he'll have another bite at the cherry. He can still get his 50. He just needs a 4 now.
Just chose the wrong club there. It was a proper sandwich. Got spin on it as well.
Well, the Eastern Storm are going through the motions of bringing everyone up into the circle. And Katrada slashes it through the covers. He gets his 4, he gets his 50, and the Mpumalanga Rhinos get a wonderful victory by 9 wickets with 6 overs and 1 ball to spare. So they get a bonus point as well. Katrada 51 not out off just 32 balls, 5 4s and 2 6s.
Yeah, the Rhinos made a powerful statement here in their opening game of what's lying ahead in this tournament this week. The other teams will have to be quite sharp and ready when they face the Rhinos. A clinical win, and Katrada finishes it off with an excellent shot, cut shot through the covers, and a well-deserved 50 for him, with a healthy strike rate. And the Rhinos, they win comfortably with 9 wickets.
So Mpumalanga Rhinos chasing down their target of 144 with 37 balls to spare, and they began the day by being asked to bowl first, and a good job. Dismissed the Eastern Storm for just 143. John Henriksen, the new ball bowler, outstanding, 3 for 12 in 4 overs, and included a maiden, and there were 2 wickets apiece for Gareth Dukes and for spinner Tatelo Mapaka, 1 wicket for Temba Maupa and Aubrey Swanepoel as well, and then a magnificent opening partnership of 139 between Gareth Dukes, who blasted his way to 75 off just 47 deliveries, and Zakia Katrada, who is there at the end, hit the winning boundary, 51 not out for him off just 32 balls. A big bonus point win for the Mpumalanga Rhinos. Earlier today, the Inyati, the Eastern Cape Inyati from the border, beat the Northern Cape Heat by 4 wickets with 3 overs to spare, but they did not get the bonus points. So at the moment it's the Mpumalanga Rhinos and the Eastern Cape Inyati who are setting the pace in this Momentum Health Challenge, and it's going to be very exciting tomorrow when they play each other. The action will get underway again tomorrow at 9:30 a.m. So do join us again tomorrow for some more very exciting T20 cricket from Supersport Park. From myself, Ken Borland, and from Pierre de Bruin, and from Pitch Vision and the Momentum Multiply Titans, it's a very good afternoon. Cool.